Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. First of all, allow us from group 5 of the English statistics segment to introduce ourselves. My name is Hanif Wijaya with student ID number 030, and this my partner.
My name is Nur Khalifa with student ID number 005, and this is my partner.
My name is Salia Amreni. My student number is 0001, and this is my partner.
My name is Konita Zahrania Haifa Mufti with student ID number 016.
On this occasion, we will explain cause connection, passive voice, and causative verb.
So I will talking about cause connectors or kata penghubung sebab akibat. So cause connectors are words or phrases used to show the relationship between cause and effect in a sentence. The first material from cause connectors is because or because of. Because, not followed by of, must always be followed by a clause. A clause standing alone is a complete sentence. There must be a subject and a verb. Then because of is followed only by a noun or noun phrase. There must not be a conjugated verb. The formula from because is sentence because plus subject plus verb, or because plus there plus verb plus subject. And then formula for because of is because of plus noun or phrase. Because of is often interchangeable with the expression due to. The example for because plus subject plus verb. Jane was worried because it had started to rain. Because followed by it as a subject and then followed by had as a verb. Then example for because plus there plus verb plus subject is the students arrived late because there was a traffic jam. Because plus there was as a subject and there was is a verb and then traffic jam is a subject. Then we have formula example from formula because of plus noun phrase is Jen was worried because of the rain. Because of follow the rain as a noun or phrase. Then the second material from cause connectors is so that or purpose and result. Clause showing purpose are followed by the conjunction so that. After so that is a result clause with both a subject and a verb. The time of the result clause must be future in relation to the time of the purpose clause. The formula of so that is subject plus verb plus so that plus subject plus verb. It is not correct in formal written English to eliminate that in the sentence, although it is possible in spoken English. The example is he studied very hard so that he could pass the test. He as a subject, studied is a verb, very hard so that he as a subject could pass is a verb. Then this is the example. She is sending the package early so that it will arrive in time for her sister's birthday. see as a subject is sending as a verb the package early so that it as a subject will arrive as a verb. Then a material of cause and effect. We use so and such. The first rule, so, adjective and adverb. If we have sentence with adjective and adverb, we use the formula subject plus verb plus so plus adjective or adverb plus that plus subject plus verb. Don't use a noun directly after so in this pattern. The example from this rule is the soprano sang so well that she received a standing ovation. The soprano is a subject, sang as a verb, so is then followed by well, that, see as a subject, and then retrieve is a verb, like that. Then the second is a rule, so with countable nouns. The formula is subject plus verb plus so plus many or few plus plural noun plus that plus subject plus verb. The example from this rule is the Smiths had so many children that she received a standing ovation. The Smith as a subject, had as a verb, so many children is a plural noun. That subject is she, received as a verb. The second example from rule so with countable nouns is I had so few offers that we all feel sorry for him. The third rule so with uncountable nouns, the formula is subject plus verb plus so plus much or little plus non-con noun plus that plus subject plus verb. The example is there is so much traffic today. There a subject is a verb followed by so much, and then non-con noun is traffic today, like that. The four rules such with singular noun, the formula is subject plus verb plus such plus a plus adjective plus singular noun plus that blah 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 blah, or subject plus verb plus such plus adjective plus a plus singular noun plus that blah blah blah. When there is a singular noun, such is the most common choice, though so can be used with a different word order. The example, it was such a hot day that we decided to stay indoors. It a subject, then verb is a was, then followed by such, a hot day, and then that we decide blah 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 blah, like that. The fifth rule, such plural and non-con nouns. The formula from this rule is subject plus verb plus such plus adjective plus plural or non-con nouns plus that blah blah blah. It is not possible to use so in this rule. The example is she has such exceptional abilities that everyone is jealous. See a subject has as a verb such adjective abilities that blah 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 blah. Like Perry has had such bad luck that he's decided not to gamble, like that. So we analyzing the meaning from the sentence. The sentence is Peter has such long fingers that he should play the piano. The cause from the sentence is Peter has very long fingers. The effects from the sentence he should play the piano. Then that in this clause shows the result of the extreme situation described by so or such. The meaning from the sentence is Peter should play the piano because he has very long fingers.
On this occasion, I will be explaining the passive voice. Without realizing it, we often use passive sentence in our daily lives. In our language, Indonesian, passive sentences are characterized with the prefix di, berawalan di kalau dalam bahasa Indonesia, such as dimakan atau eaten bahasa Inggrisnya, ditulis written, and so on. Next, please take a look at the following example. First, I read the letter. I read the letter. Saya menulis surat. Ini yang pertama. Second, the letter is written by me. Surat ditulis olehku. So, what is the difference between these two sentences? That's right. The top one is an active sentence, and the bottom one is a passive sentence. Ya, kalimat yang pertama ialah kalimat aktif, yang kedua itu kalimat pasif. Oke. Next. So, then what exactly is the difference between the two? Lalu perbedaannya apa di antara keduanya? Nah, active sentence, the subject perform the action. Kalimat aktif itu subjek ialah pelaku dari suatu pekerjaan. And passive sentence, the subject receives the action. Sedangkan kalimat pasif, dalam kalimat pasif subjek itu ialah penerima dari sebuah pekerjaan. Dari suatu pekerjaan. Okay. Now, how do we form them? Lalu bagaimana cara kita membuatnya? Buat kalimat pasif. Next. First, the formula simple present and simple past. Subject plus am is are for simple present and was were for simple past plus verb in past participle or victory. Jadi cara rumusnya ialah subject ditambah to be. Ya, kalau dalam simple present itu pakainya am, is, are, sedangkan dalam simple past menggunakan was atau were. Ditambah verb 3. Jadi dalam pembuatan kalimat pasif ini harus menggunakan verb 3. See the example. Example of simple present. Active. The chef cooks the food. Asal kalimatnya, the chef cooks the food. Passive, the food is cooked by the chef. Jadi, Koki telah memasak makanan. Ini kalimat aktif. Kalau pasif ialah makanan telah dimasak oleh Koki. Nah, by the chef ini boleh dibuang, boleh dicantumkan. Ini terserah by the chef. Tidak harus. The example of simple past active, they built this house in 1990. They built this house in 1990. Itu that active sentence. And in passive sentence, this house was built in 1990. Dalam kalimat aktif itu artinya mereka membangun rumah ini pada tahun 1990. Sedangkan dalam kalimat pasif dibalik. Rumah ini telah dibuat sejak 1990. Rumah ini dibuat pada tahun 1990. First. Yang pertama, jadi the formula of simple present or simple past in passive sentence is subject, to be, and verb 3. Second, the formula present progressive or past progressive. Langsung ke contohnya saja. Example of present progressive. Active. The mechanic is repairing my car. Mekanik sedang memperbaiki mobilku. In passive sentence, my car is being repaired by the mechanic. Sedangkan kalimat jika diubah menjadi kalimat pasif, maka menjadi mobilku sedang diperbaiki oleh mekanik. So, in the formula of present progressive is subject plus to be, am is are, plus being, plus verb 3. The example of past progressive in active sentence, he was washing the dishes when I arrived. In passive sentence, the dishes were being washed when I arrived. Dalam kalimat aktif itu berbunyi dia sedang mencuci piring ketika saya datang. Dalam kalimat pasif, piring sedang dicuci ketika saya datang. Seperti tadi, dalam kalimat pasif, pelakunya itu tidak wajib untuk disebutkan. So, the formula is subject plus to be plus being plus verb 3. Next. Third, the formula of present perfect or past perfect. The example of present perfect is active sentence. I have finished the report. In passive sentence, the report has been finished by me. Jadi contoh kalimat aktifnya ialah saya telah menyelesaikan catatan. Dan dalam kalimat pasif catatan telah saya laporan maaf. Saya telah selesai membuat laporan. Nah, dalam kalimat pasif laporannya telah selesai saya buat. Telah selesai dibuat oleh saya. The example of past perfect in active sentence, someone had stolen my bag before I woke up. In passive sentence, my bag had been stolen before I woke up. Sedangkan contoh dalam past perfect, dalam kalimat aktif, ialah seseorang telah mencuri sepeda saya sebelum saya bangun. Mungkin bangunnya kesiangan. Dalam kalimat pasif, jika diubah menjadi kalimat pasif, maka menjadi sepeda saya telah dicuri sebelum saya bangun. So, the formula in present perfect or past perfect, the formula of present perfect is subject has plus has or have plus been plus verb 3. And the formula of past perfect is subject plus had plus been plus verb 3. Gitu. Fourth, the formula of modal. Subject plus modal plus be plus verb 3. Example of modal. Active sentence. They can solve the problem. Mereka dapat menyelesaikan masalah. Itu kalimat aktif. Passive sentence. The problem can be solved by them. Masalahnya dapat diselesaikan oleh mereka. Itu kalimat pasif. So the formula of modal is subject plus modal plus be plus verb 3. The formula of perfect plus the formula of modal plus perfect is subject plus modal plus have plus been plus verb 3. Example of modal plus perfect is active sentence. He should have sent this email. Dia seharusnya sudah mengirimkan email. Mungkin kangen. Passive sentence. The email should have been sent by him. Emailnya seharusnya sudah dia kirim, sudah dikirim olehnya. Email seharusnya sudah dikirim olehnya. Tuh. Itu jika diubah menjadi kalimat pasif. So, kesimpulannya ialah berarti terdapat 5 rumus yang harus kalian hafalkan dalam membuat kalimat pasif dalam bahasa Inggris. Dalam bahasa Inggris atau passive sentence. Gitu. Nah, oh, I get it now. But when exactly do we use the passive voice? Oke, sekarang kita tahu ya kan bagaimana cara membuat kalimat pasif. Lalu kapan digunakannya kalimat pasif itu? Next, generally speaking, the passive voice is used in the following 2 condition. Ya, umumnya kalimat pasif itu digunakan dalam 2 kondisi. First, when we don't know who did the action. Pertama, ketika kita tidak tahu siapa yang melakukan suatu pekerjaan. Contoh, my phone was stolen. Contohnya, HP saya dicuri. Kita tentu tidak tahu siapa pencurinya. Belum tahu siapa pencurinya. Jika kita tahu, namanya bukan dicuri tapi diambil. The second, when the action is more important than the doer. Kondisi yang kedua ialah ketika pekerjaan tersebut lebih penting daripada yang melakukan. Jadi Mungkin kita ingin menerangkan sesuatu pekerjaan yang tidak peduli siapa itu pelakunya. Contoh-contoh. Example, the new bridge will be open next week. Jembatan baru akan dibuka minggu depan. Tentu yang paling kita fokuskan itu jembatan baru dibuka. Tidak perlu tahu, kita tidak terlalu penting juga siapa yang akan membuka jembatan baru tersebut. Oleh karena itu kita menggunakan kalimat pasif atau passive voice. Nah. Well, that brings us to the end of our material. Before I end, sebelum saya tutup nih, please take your book, pen, and rock. Please take your book and pen and rock on the following exercise. The following exercise. Nah, sebelum saya tutup, ambil buku, pulpen, kerjakan 10 soal ini. Change the following sentence from active to passive voice. Ubahlah kalimat-kalimat 10 kalimat di bawah ini yang berupa kalimat-kalimat pasif, ubahlah menjadi kalimat yang asalnya kalimat-kalimat aktif, ubahlah menjadi kalimat pasif. Gitu. No. Oke. Nah, that is all for me, and I sincerely apologize from any mistake I may have made.
Selanjutnya, saya akan menjelaskan mengenai causative verbs. Apa sih itu causative verb? A causative verb indicates that the subject cause or makes someone or something else perform an action. So, a causative verb is a verb used to state that the subject cause, makes, order, or asks the object, whether a person or a thing, to perform an action. Artinya, subjek tidak melakukan tindakan tersebut secara langsung, tetapi hanya sebagai pendorong atau penyebab terjadinya tindakan. Meskipun secara umum artinya mirip, yaitu meminta atau menyuruh. What distinguishes each causative verb is its degree of force atau tingkatannya. Jadi causative verb itu sebenarnya sama, hanya saja dibedakan pada tingkatannya atau derajatnya.
Causative verbs are divided into two forms, namely active form and passive form. Number 1, active form adalah di mana subjek menyebabkan atau mendorong objek untuk melakukan suatu tindakan atau aktivitas tertentu. In this type of sentence, the subject acts as the agent who is responsible for the action performed by the object or the receiver of the action. The action performed by the agent is expressed in action verb, which are in the form of bare infinitive or infinitive, tergantung kata kerja apa yang digunakan. Bare infinitive itu adalah past form of the verb atau verb 1, and infinitive adalah to plus verb 1. Polanya adalah subject plus causative verb plus agent plus action verb berupa bare infinitive atau infinitive. Causative verb followed by bare infinitive include have, let, and make. Meanwhile, causative verb followed by infinitive consists of allow, cause, convince, enable, force, lead, get, motivate, permit, dan require. Yang kedua yaitu passive form adalah kalimat yang dimana subjek menerima atau menjadi objek dari suatu tindakan yang disebabkan oleh orang atau benda lain. In this case, the subject does not actively perform the action, but receive the result of the action. The word passive in passive causative refers to the role of the subject who is not active in performing the action, but receive the impact of the action. Polanya adalah subject plus causative verb plus object plus action verb berupa past participle. Causative verb yang diikuti past participle adalah get dan have. Setelah memahami bentuk aktif dan pasif causative, now I will discuss the most commonly used causative verbs, yaitu make, let, have, get, dan help. Number 1 yaitu make atau force atau memaksa. Make digunakan ketika seseorang memaksa orang lain melakukan sesuatu. Dalam situasi ini, objek mau tidak mau harus melakukan. Polanya adalah subject plus make plus objek berupa person plus verb 1. Example, number 1, my friend always makes me finish his assignment. Temanku selalu menyuruhku menyelesaikan tugasnya. Number 2, my mom makes me eat vegetable. Ibuku menyuruhku makan sayur. Number 3, the teacher made me do the homework. Guru menyuruhku mengerjakan pekerjaan rumah. Make can also use verb 3, but its function is not to order like have, but to make sure something is successfully delivered or received. Hanya untuk kata tertentu seperti understood, heard, noun. Polanya adalah subject plus make plus object plus verb 3. Contohnya, she shouted to make her voice heard in the crowd. Dia berteriak agar suaranya terdengar di tengah keramaian. Number 2, he used simple words to make his message understood. Dia menggunakan kata-kata sederhana agar pesannya mudah dipahami. Thus, the company made its new policy known to everyone. Perusahaan tersebut mengumumkan kebijakan barunya kepada semua orang. Causative verb juga mengikuti dengan tenses kalimatnya. Untuk make, simple present berubah menjadi makes atau tetap make. Untuk simple past berubah menjadi made. Untuk present continuous berubah menjadi making. Untuk present perfect berubah menjadi have atau has made. Number 2 yaitu let atau permission. Let digunakan ketika seseorang mengizinkan atau membiarkan orang lain untuk melakukan sesuatu. Setelah kata let, kita harus menggunakan kata kerja bentuk pertama atau verb 1. Polanya adalah subject plus let plus object plus verb 1. Example, number 1, my father let me choose my future career. Ayahku membiarkanku memilih karir masa depanku. Number 2, our parent doesn't let us eat lunch. Orang tua kami tidak mengizinkan kami makan siang. Nah, untuk let juga mengikuti dengan tenses kalimatnya. Untuk simple present berubah menjadi let's, untuk simple past berubah menjadi let, present continuous berubah menjadi letting, present perfect menjadi let.
Next, now we move to have. There are two common patterns. First pattern is as is subjects plus have plus person plus verb 1. Menyuruh atau meminta seseorang melakukan sesuatu. Example, I have my brother fix my laptop. They hide the house clean. The teacher has the student clean the class. And this means menyuruh seseorang melakukan sesuatu. And second patterns as is subject plus have plus think plus verb 3. Membuat sesuatu pekerjaan yang dilakukan oleh orang lain. Example, I have my laptop prepared. I had 2, I had my car washed by my brother. 3, they have the house clean. And this means we ask someone to do something for us. Kayak kita mengerjakan sendiri, tapi orang lain mengerjakan. And next, causative verb mengikuti tense. Causative verbs itu berubah sesuai tense kalimat. Contoh di have itu in the present. In the simple present, we use have or has. In the simple past, we use had. In the present continuous, we use am, is, are, having. In the present perfect, we use have or has had. And next is get. First patterns is as, get, as plus get, as is subjects, get plus person plus to plus verb 1. Example-nya, I get my sister to help me. She get her sister to help her homework. And 3, they get their friend to clean the room. And second patterns is subject, get plus thing plus verb 3. Yaitu membuat sesuatu dikerjakan oleh orang lain. Example, I get my phone repaired. He get his laptop fixed. And 3, they got the house cleaned. It has is similar meaning to have, but it is more informal. And next, for example, if we use get, in the simple present, we use gets or gets. In the simple past, we use got. In the present continuous, we use am, is, are, giving. And next, in the present perfect, we use have or has got. So, even took is a causative verbs. I still follow normal tense rules. Jadi, causative verbs itu tetap berubah sesuai dengan tense kalimatnya. And the next is help. For the last one is help. The formula is as for subject plus help plus object plus verb infinitive or infinitive. Atau artinya itu membantu orang dalam melakukan sesuatu. Bisa jadi tuh itu adalah bisa jadi kita ganti seperti kayak as is subjects plus help plus object plus verb 1 or subject plus help plus object plus to plus verb 1.
Bare infinitive itu biasanya lebih sering digunakan dalam percakapan sehari-hari. Sementara to infinitive itu digunakan dalam situasi formal. Contohnya, I help him to write the report or I help him write the report. Nah, kedua kalimat itu benar dan artinya sama, yaitu saya membantu dia menulis laporan. So, after help him, we can use either to write or write. Kemudian contoh yang terakhir adalah he helped me fix my car or he helped me to fix my car. Artinya, dia membantu saya memperbaiki mobil saya. Again, we can see that after help, we can use bare infinitive or to infinitive.
That's all from our group, more or less. We apologize and thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.